You have to look at this as the beginning of a new great adventure. Serpentor Khan, or the ending of a sad story. Dr. Mindbender. 1 minute and 55 seconds before the bio bomb explodes. Skybound. Image Comics. G.I. Joe Volume 1, Issue 301. Confronted with the escalating threat of global terrorism, the Pentagon clandestinely established an elite task force known as G.I. Joe. Selecting top-tier operatives from various branches of the military, they assemble a potent and diverse rapid response team tasked with addressing the gravest dangers to democratic values. Operating covertly from a classified facility known as the Pit, nestling deep beneath the desert terrain of Utah, the G.I. Joe team remains in perpetual state of vigilance. The primary mission is to combat existential threats and safeguard the nation's clandestine assault. Under overarching leadership, Lieutenant General Clayton Abernathy, operating under the codename Hawk, commands the entire unit. Daily operational commands falls within the purview of First Sergeant Duke, also referred to as the First Shirt or simply Top. The main foe of G.I. Joe team is Cobra, an international terrorist organization that originated as a pyramid scheme. Their objective: disrupt the global order and establish markets for weaponry. Cobra Commander stands as the leader of the organization, embodying ruthlessness, cunning, and an unwavering conviction in their own righteousness. Assuming the second-in-command position is Dr. Mindbender, a renegade orthodontist with the ability to manipulate the thoughts through his diabolical brainwave scanner. Destro is inherited CEO of Mars, a weapons manufacturing company formerly known allied with Cobra, but now in opposition to them. The Baroness is both the paramour of Destro and the former chief of Cobra's intelligence services. Serpentor Khan was crafted by Dr. Mindbender using the DNA of Genghis Khan to serve as the strategic commander of Cobra's military forces. However, he proved to possess an independent and autonomous mind. As sinister as our adversaries may be, G.I. Joe consistently takes the forefront in the fight to ensure our security. We find ourselves alongside Duke and Wild Bill in the descending C-130, hurtling towards Cobra Island. Additionally, G.I. Joes are navigating the waters aboard a whale, aiming to reach the island for a massive assault. The countdown is ticking away as Serpentor activates a nuclear device, initiating the countdown from 3 minutes 20 seconds. Serpentor has chosen to release a bioweapon with the intention of annihilating everyone and everything in his trajectory. Duke notes the hydraulic pressure gauge just ticked up a notch, while Bill adds the plane is going to a spin. Centerfold force is pulling the fluid out of the wings. While Bill emphasizes, we have to wait until the pressure gets a few notches higher and time it precisely at the correct point of rotation. As the timer reaches 2 minutes and 3 seconds, Duke acknowledges, you're calling a shot, Wild Bill. The timer is at 1 minute and 55 seconds. You have to look at this as the beginning of a new great adventure, or the ending of a sad story. Why doesn't Wild Bill pull up? Duke, Covergirl, Roadblock, Helix, Jinx, Molto, Clutch, and Muskrat are on that plane. They're too low to bail out. 1 minute and 27 seconds. You might reconsider. We can still stop the countdown until the 10-second no return. Just relax. You can't run fast enough to escape the blast radius. The pressure's as good as it's gonna get. 1 minute and 22 seconds. With the timer on the clock reading 1 minute and 17 seconds, Wild Bill declares, this is it. Pull on the yoke with all you've got. Covergirl communicates urgently to Wild Bill and Duke. He triggered the mutant virus bomb. Make it to the water bug. Shipwreck relays the message. Just got the word from Covergirl. We need to vacate Cobra Island ASAP. With the time remaining before detonation at 1 minute and 9 seconds, tension fills the air as the team braces for the impending threat. With the time before detonation at 1 minute and 7 seconds, the C-130 soars over the Cobra base, intensifying the urgency of the situation. With the time until detonation ticking down to 1 minute and 5 seconds, the G.I. Joes are urgently fleeing Cobra Island. A sense of urgency grips the situation as the impending bomb detonation looms. Pushing throttles to red line. Hang on to something. We're about to hit the water. Time, 1 minute and 3 seconds. Where do you think you're going? Time, 1 minute, 1 second. Or as stable as we can be under the circumstances. I'm activating the engine fire extinguisher in Nasila number 3. Laura, you and Wade take Cobra Commander below and keep an eye on him. That's the Cobra cruise ship heading for Baton Rouge. Revanchi evacuated all their modified bats on that ship. Some highly weaponized androids down there. Bzz. Aircraft targeting, suite activated, B target located, missile launch, taking evasive maneuvers. Pretty slick move, Wild Bill, and without flares or chaff. That stuff is ineffective with head on shots at close range. Time, 59 seconds. Cobra Commander has apprehended by the G.I. Joe team and is currently confined in the depths of the whale, alongside former Crimson Guard members Laura and Wade Collins. Wade, also a former Crimson Guard from the Vietnam era, was believed to be lost with Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Stalker, but re-emerged later. Cobra Commander questions, why are we heading away from the island at full throttle? Without a response from Wade Collins and Laura, Cobra Commander exclaims, ha! Moral superiority from two traitorous sieges. Wild Bill announces, this is your captain speaking. We're going to try to limp into the Naval Air Joint Reserve Base in New Orleans, but first we'll circle around and make a visual check on the whale. Cover Girl intervenes, saying, negative on that, Bill. Serpentor Khan is about to set off a sort of bioweapon on Cobra Island, and Cutter is steering the whale as far as possible. Timer is at 53 seconds. The whale is racing from Cobra Island, propelled by urgency and the imperative to distance itself from the impending danger. With 40 seconds left on the timer before the biobomb detonates, Cobra Commander recognizes the dire situation, reacts by striking Laura to seize the gun. He urgently demands, get me the jet sled. Wade Collins leaps to intervene and halt Cobra Commander, but he is shot at point-blank range. Wade Collins succumbs to the gunshot wounds and his demise is confirmed. He is dead. Cobra Commander swiftly jumps onto a jet ski, making a quick escape from the whale. With only 13 seconds remaining before detonation, it becomes increasingly certain that the nuclear bomb will indeed explode. What happened? Cobra Commander got the jump on me. He shot Sean's dad and took off on the jet sled. We need to mourn him later, Sean. Right now, I need your hand. Too many manual crank the ramp back up and keep us from sinking. The lower ramp cut our headway considerably, Cutter. As soon as the ramp is back in place, we go to red line again. Vroom. We're having trouble keeping a steady trim. Time, 3 seconds. Not enough lift from an engine out, and structurally damaged necessities throttling down. We need to lose some weight. Time, 2 seconds. Time, 1 second. Boom. In a shocking turn of events, the biobomb detonates as the timer hits 0, unleashing its devastating impact. Radiation begins to flow through the island, spreading its ominous effects in a potential catastrophic aftermath. Cobra Commander speeds away on the jet ski, fully aware that escaping quickly is imperative for his survival. The Joes comprehend that a bioweapon has been detonated, anticipating the fallout and the imminent consequences of the perilous situation. The impact of the blast appears to have reached its outer limit, ensuring that the C-130 whale and Cobra Commander are safely beyond the range of explosion. I outran the blast. I am home free. That's it. Cover Girl, tell Wild Bill we jettison all the vehicles. That should do it. I'll trim at Angels 5 and throttle down cruising speed for leisure run into New Orleans airspace. On Cobra Island, the bioweapons effects have transformed Cobra's soldiers into zombies, creating an eerie and perilous situation for all present. The faces of the zombies are contorted with bubbling boils as they all rise from the aftermath of the blast, presenting a haunting and ominous sight. Ugh, what have you done to us? I have this intense urge to rip living flesh off the bone and devour it. But I am still me. I am not some mindless criminal monster. The C-130 touched down an hour ago, while the whale has now arrived at the base, making the successful arrival of both vehicles. I'm pulling up to the tail of the C-130 and lowering the forward ramp. Company formation in the flight apron. Attend hut. Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Stalker, Sean Collins somberly carried out the lifeless body of Wade Collins, navigating the aftermath with heavy sense of loss. Next issue, Skybound, Image Comics, G.I. Joe, Volume 1, Issue 302.